Well, welcome race fans and welcome back to the channel and to race day here at Monza. We're at the paddock for the SVR simulated virtual reality second division in the Red Bull Junior race cars, representing their teams. We've got new liveries, new teams. We've got sponsored teams and fully funded teams as well. We've got a really busy field as well compared to the previous race. I've got 13 drivers for you. Let's just take you through the current Drivers' Championship. Nasty holds on to his lead at the top of the championship, but only by a single point now from Leigh, who bested him with absolutely faultless drive in the Red Bull Ring. Leigh on 71 points. In third place is Liquid Gecko for the Cabbage Corp team on 39. We have Senior Dude on 37 and Scavvy on 32, the two Darkside Racing team drivers. Very narrow gaps in the midfield. In sixth position, we have Biggerwood on 30 points with Nintendo on 28. Milo has 22, Berent Bodgy 21, and then we have Saul on 18, Yank the Tank, Mr. Highlights, who's been fabulously clipping lots of the races, which I'm definitely here for. Maybe Yank clip a few other drivers' highlights as well, but it's great to see all the clips you've been doing, so really appreciate that. Drupert, so Yank has 15, moved up one place, with Drupert moving down one on 14 points. Wilson has 10, and Oliver at the back of the field at the moment on 6 points. But I can also see that we have a representative today returning to the field, very popular driver here. So at the back of the grid is Saul, the Azul Racing Team car, in 13th place, and this is going to be a 30-minute aggressive tyre and fuel race around the Cathedral of Speed. We have in 12th position on the grid Oliver for the Kimmy's Racing Team, and then returning to us Sandra, or should I say Sandraria, who is Aria's partner, and great to have her return to us back on the grid. In 10th position, we have Nintendo in the Tamiya Racing Factory colours, and alongside we have newcomer Terrier, who is all new to us here on the league and debuting in the beautiful Tamiya Racing Factory colours. We have Berent Bodgy for Cabbage Corp, with Golden Bear now on the back of his wing as well. We have Senior Dude in 7th position, and Drupert in the new Mega Racing Team colour scheme, representing in 6th place. Hoping for a better start this time out will be Scavvy in 5th for Darkside Racing, with Leigh really low down for his high standards, down in 4th position off the grid. We'll have Biggerwood in the Buckstein car that qualified so well in 2nd and 3rd, with Yank the Tank qualifying in that 2nd position. But narrow championship leader Nasty will take us away from the grid here on pole position. Welcome to all our audience, everyone who hasn't already said hello, and we've got Ricky here as well, who we'll see later on the channel. Thanks for the concern. Yeah, I am on the mend. The voice is hopefully going to hold up to this race +1 at 8 p.m. UK tonight as well. But fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. Let's get racing now. I know you're waiting to get underway, so let's get ourselves some start lights, shall we? And get on with this round 5 of the second division racing. So you can hear the notes building. We're ready to go. We're holding that clutch. And it's dropped the clutch, and it's go from the start, and everybody away pretty nice and smoothly. The practice starts really helping all of our drivers here as Yank the Tank looks to be challenging down. He's got the inside line here. He's sufficiently far forward to be able to get the first apex of the chicane, and he nicely squeezes into first position, perhaps going a little bit wide on the exit, but it's Nasty who reclaims that position on the very ill-favoured left-hand side of the track on the way through, and then heading towards Curva Grande, and he just sneaks the tail ahead, and Nasty retakes the lead of this race and holds the middle of the road here to try and hold on through to the Della Roggia chicane. Can he hold on as they turn left? Yes, indeed, and through there, nice and tidy. The Cabbage Corp driver, though, Leigh up, it's started low down, and he's been bested by, looks like, Biggerwood getting through into third position. Bolide Fay up to fourth place for Mega Racing Team. Berend Bodji deposed down to fifth, and Scabby down to sixth. Drew, but look at this battle in the midfield. We've got 5 or 6 drivers trying to get through the Lesmos comfortably as they run through, and the sun, the sort of overcast clouds still glinting off the Tamiya Racing Factory livery, as Oliver is ahead of Saul and Sandra at the back of the grid at the moment. Let's go back to the start though and have a look from Sandra's perspective, shall we, and see what perhaps went wrong at the start of the race. As we get away very nicely indeed. We've got the Tamiya Racing Factory of Nintendo on the right hand of our rear wheel, looking for that opportunity to find a way through, but completely boxed in, unfortunately. Then it is the traditional turn 1 melee through the exit of the Variante of the first portion, but it looked like slow away for Sandra, unfortunately. And there goes Saul coming through, and then something goes wrong for Sandra on the way into the Della Roggia chicane. Let's have a look from Nintendo as we head down into that turn. Several drivers getting it wrong. 3 wide they went, and ping-balling around each other through the corner. Looks like Sandra though having a slight issue on the braking. Here we go, braking early enough, but perhaps just not staying on that brake pedal quite long enough, and a very untraditional route back onto the racetrack. But we'll go back up to the lead of the race as Nasty and Yank the Tank take us away. The Buckstein car is certainly being driven incredibly well here. We've got Biggerwood and Yank the Tank up into second and third positions. We've got Bolide Fay, championship contender, only trailing by 1 point, and he's down in fourth place at the moment in the Mega Racing Team car, chased hard at the right now by Berend Bodji, the Dutchman. We have a triplicate of Canadian drivers as they absolutely muller their way down towards the next chicane, Ascari. And everybody trying to find a way through cleanly. These Red Bull Racing Junior cars on worn tyres, cold tyres through the Ascari. I'm glad I'm in my seat and not in the cockpit as they come through there. But all the drivers safely making it through in the top 10 at least. And drawing fully alongside is Senor Dude, I think, as Drupert unfortunately miscalculates his entry into the Parabolica corner, and he ends up losing a position out to Senor Dude, who's now in 6th position. Nasty leads Yank, leads Biggerwood, and Bolide Fay, Berend Bodji, and we stay on track with Senor Dude, but it's now Scavvy who moves forward in the Darkside Racing Team colours ahead of Mega Racing Team driver Drupert down into the first chicane. And nicely done. There was a yellow flag just ahead of the drivers there for a moment. But looks like all is well at the front of the race. Car number 69, the Golden Bear, sponsored. It's actually a bear on the helmet. Nice touch from Berend Bodji in the Cabbage Corp Racing Team colours as they file through, not neat and tidy. But it looks like it's Nasty who is getting a good lead. It looks like though Bolide Fay starting on the medium tyres, going for the option strategy here, perhaps learning a little bit from his run in Red Bull Ring, or maybe just the strategy suits this track. Trying to brake though, late braking through the Lesmos, half on the grass might not help too much, but looks like he's in a good position. The lead medium driver is Bolide Fay, and he's probably only about 6 or 7 seconds off the lead of the outright lead of the race. Nasty holding that for the Azul Racing Team. Tremendously successful Azul Racing Team in both divisions right now. They are absolutely hot to trot right now, the Azul Racing Team drivers, as the Kimmy's Racing Team car driven by Oliver is up to 11th position, and we see a challenge now for Cabbage Corp's Sandra against Saul, and that was aggressive and nicely done with confidence going through Ascari from Arya's partner Sandra in the car here. Hasn't got her PSN sorted and got herself her own car in GT7 just yet, and Saul at the tail of the field right now, but continuing neatly and tidily. And the field spread looking pretty good here for the drivers as they head down to turn 1, the 2 at the front of the grid. And we'll just see if there are any challenges coming from the drivers heading down to that turn 1. for the start of lap 3 of only 16 laps. These Red Bull Racing Junior cars are not the fastest, but they are very, very lively, especially on the rear axle for the drivers as the tyres start to fade. So we'll see before half distance. I imagine the soft tyres will start to let go. I'd be expecting around lap 6 the first stops to be started, if that makes any kind of sense outside of racing talk. That's down into the De La Roggia chicane we go again, and Terrier doing well in P8 and repping for the Tamiya Racing Factory team, just running wide out of Lesmo 2, but handling and coping with it very nicely. Nintendo sticks a wheel out on the grass again, and that's a popular position. And I guess I probably cursed Terrier because I just talked about him running wide out of Lesmo 1 it was, and then he's going to go into Lesmo 2, probably dirty tyres on the outside, and then a little spinella. Unfortunately, that's contact with the wall. That's not the best of rejoins, but it looks like there's a gap enough on the track for him. No harm done, but unfortunately damaging the front right and front splitter of his Tamiya Racing Factory entry. He is on the soft tyres, so he could potentially switch to hards if the damage is particularly bad. But just getting to grips with the demands of a full race distance here with us at SVR. That looked like lights flashing on board Oliver's car. I think I've been told by Oliver that when he does that, it's often that he's just spamming the steering control aggressively. And typically we see here with both the Red Bull Junior car and the Super Formula car that recovering is a tremendously difficult task once you have gone offline. Nasty still holds on to our lead as he starts lap 4, with Yank the Tank and Bolide Fay now moving forward and gapping himself from Biggerwood, who has all kinds of trouble down into the first chicane. Here we go. Let's ride on board, shall we? Berend Bodji, who is looking for that inside line. It looked like very, very early on the brakes was the Buxton car, and that looked really clumsy from both of them actually, heading through the corner. Not the best advert for overtaking, as really, I guess you could say Biggerwood taking the Verstappen line through the corner when you had someone alongside, but all the time you have to leave the space, as the saying goes, and space was perhaps not left by either driver to race fairly, so I guess they can't really complain. Scavy watching on for the next next edition of Berend Bodji versus Biggerwood, and trying to have a positive result for him. Scavy in 6th position with the two rivals in front of him. He's got his teammate 2 places behind him with Drupa in between, and feeling pretty comfortable at the moment is Scavy. He is though on the soft tyre, as everybody is, with the exception of Bolide Fay, who is still on those racing mediums, will be for a good distance of this race, as you can see the fuel already burning off quite aggressively. I wonder, whether Bolide Fay will actually make it to his ideal pit stop lap with his fuel wear before his medium tyres actually get to the point where he needs to put the softs on. I don't know if the drivers, I'm assuming the drivers can adjust their start fuel. And here we go, nice run through Ascari for Scavy. Can he make it stick all the way into Parabolica? Definitely. Great move, just needs to hold that apex, stop the outside to inside switchback move coming, and into the pits actually comes, I think that's Biggerwood, off the soft tyres as early as lap 4. That is extremely early, 1/4 distance of our race, and he's taking off those soft tyres. Is our Buxton Transport Service driver. Scavy holds on to that position, but he's defending to a medium degree. You can see how difficult these cars are to brake smoothly down into the biggest stops on the racetrack, down into the first chicane, down into the second chicane as well. Really, really difficult. And these cars have been chosen for our second tier of racing here at SVR, to teach them the skills that are going to be required to handle an even livelier Super Formula race cars for the top division, should they get a spare seat or a reserve seat. There's a good run from Berend Boggi, who's going to try and take the position through Lesmo 1. Nice manoeuvre from Berend Boggi. That was very smooth, and you have to say Scavi was accommodating, saw it coming, perhaps had a poor run out of the previous chicane for Scavi, and drops down to 5th position. But in allowing the driver through smoothly, he can live to fight and continue his successful racing so far. And what a run he had out of the corner as well. Down to Ascari we go, but too much apex bump there, and launches the car up into the air. Thankfully, again, managing to save it. Ascari can bite you quite significantly, as Drupert has a good run for the Mega Racing team now, and will do exactly to Scavi what Scavi did to Berend Boggi in the previous lap. Looks like he's not quite as alongside. They're going to run side by side through that Parabolica corner, but Drupert with the shortest run, thanks to having the inside line. Yank the Tank is in the pits as well at the end of lap 5. So that's just about on the bubble for the medium tyres, and he drops down the order now. Bolide into 2nd position, and in a commanding place on the option strategy. Starting on the mediums, Bolide, the only lead runner here in that position. And again, the driver's really struggling to get the cars down to the required minimum speed for turns 1 and 2. But just about, you can see them weaving the car to try and generate that extra stopping power as they start to hit the bulkhead on the